Hi, Glasgow families, and welcome to Back to School Night. It is Tuesday, September 29th. If you need to view this video in a translated version, you can find directions below on how to get closed captions. Welcome to 6th grade math. My name is Miss Ande Pitchford. A little bit about me. This is my 7th year teaching 6th grade in Fairfax County. This is my first year at Glasgow. I'm very excited to be spending it with your children. I just moved back to the Arlington area a few years ago after attending college in Richmond. My husband and I just bought our first home, so my free time is spent doing yard work and gardening and lots of projects around the house. When I'm not working on my home, I am reading or watching movies. Learning in math, I believe that students learn best when they feel really comfortable in their classroom community, comfortable and safe. I think that students also learn best when they understand the real-world application of the math that they're learning. Help get that buy-in from them if they understand how they can use it in their everyday life or in their future lives. I also think that students need to be actively engaged during lessons, making sure that they're either taking notes or practicing when asked. And lastly, I really strongly believe that when it comes to math, you need to be able to draw it or write it out. It's hard to keep all of those numbers in your head, and so we usually need something to work out our thinking, whether that be in pictures or in numbers or in words. To be successful in my class, students will need to attend all class meetings and complete all required coursework. They'll also need to participate in class activities such as small groups or whole group lessons by using their microphones to turn them on to speak, and also by using the chat appropriately. Students need to follow directions not only during class time, but on assignments so they can complete them accurately. And if students have any questions about their learning or they're confused about something, they'll need to reach out either during office hours or via email to contact their teachers. This is our Math 6 curriculum this year. We start the year off with ratios and fractions, decimals, and percents, and we do a review of the operations learned in 5th grade and work a little bit more with that percent piece in 6th grade. Students will also use order of operations, and they'll learn how to use exponents within that. We do integer operations, so adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing with positive and negative numbers. They'll work a little bit on the coordinate plane with graphing, which will be a really essential skill for 7th grade math next year. We dip our toes into algebra with expressions, equations, and inequalities. And then they'll come back to ratios later in the year for our proportions unit. As far as geometry, we focus on geometric measurement, which is area, perimeter, working with the circle's circumference and diameter, as well as volume. And lastly, we will wrap up our year with our unit on data, which is mostly working with graphs, but also finding those measures of center like mean, median, and mode. Grading and assessments. Students will take a variety of assessments in my class, mostly formative, which will be quick checks along the way to see how they're understanding each lesson that I present. These might be exit tickets or quizzes. Some of the assessments are only given at the end of units. So these will be the big check for understanding after we've finished learning about certain topics. In addition to those two, students will also get other feedback, either via messages, emails, feedback on their work, whatever that might be, either in class or during that asynchronous homework time. This is our weekly lesson grid. Students will get one of these each week, and it will detail not only what we're learning that week in the What Will I Learn Today row, but it will also detail the expected completed work. So at the bottom where it says, what will I turn in today? Those will be the assignments that students will need to be completing. In the first column, we have our Monday asynchronous or homework day. This is all work that students will need to complete independently. I ask that all work is completed by Fridays and submitted by Fridays, and I update my grade book then as well. The work listed for Tuesdays and Thursdays or Wednesdays and Fridays, that's work that will be completed in class, and your student should have enough time to make sure that they complete it during our class time. But if they don't, anything unfinished, I just ask gets finished on Friday as well. For any teacher support, I have a lot of resources up on our Blackboard 24/7 page. My contact info is there, as well as my co-teacher, Ms. Campbell. Our syllabus for Math 6 is located there. Links and times for my office hours, which are Mondays from 10 to 10:45 a.m. and Thursdays after school from 2:30 to 3:30. And then our weekly lesson grids are posted there as well, so students and families have an understanding of what we'll be doing that week. Google Classroom is my big hub for all assignments. So anywhere a student will complete or submit something will be through Google Classroom. Unfortunately, parents don't have access to Google Classroom, but students do. And I will post the weekly grid there as well by Mondays at 7 a.m. If you need anything additional, my contact information is not only on Blackboard, but my email is listed on this slide as well. Some ways you can support your child at home are asking questions. So by being present, asking them what is going on, what is expected of you this week, what's due. Maybe take a look at that weekly learning grid together so you both have an understanding of what your student is learning, as well as what they need to have completed for that week. Supplies needed for math class. Number one is something to write on and something to write with. This could be a pencil, a pen, it doesn't matter. Loose leaf paper, notebook, a binder, whatever your student has is just fine. But I recommend that every math class they come prepared with those two things, in addition to a fully charged laptop. That's super important as well. Their Glasgow Middle School agenda will help them keep track of assignments this year too. I'm looking forward to a great school year with you and your child, and please reach out if you ever have any questions or concerns.